Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, my cute little cheerful, smart, intelligent, and brave friends. Welcome to the Story House, a place where we present to you an interesting story from the Quran every day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has narrated many stories in the Holy Quran, wise and delightful stories that bring you joy and inspiration, while we learn wonderful things from the true stories, old and new. So, let's embark on a thrilling journey to the world of the Quran. But before listening to the story, make sure you have completed all your tasks properly so that you can enjoy listening to the story uninterrupted. And I really admire all of you being a part of this story. Today we bring you a story from the 22nd juz of the Quran. The 22nd juz contains three surahs, or more accurately, two and a half surahs. Surah Saba, Surah Fatir, and Surah Yasin, half of which is in the 22nd juz and half in the 23rd. In Surah Saba, Allah Almighty narrates the story of Saba, which we have touched on before. Let's hear it again. Previously, you heard the story of the Queen of Saba and Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. When Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam invited the Queen of Saba, she came submissively and accepted Islam. From her story, you might have understood that the people of Saba were wise and highly skilled in engineering. The Quran even mentions the queen's magnificent throne. Because the people of Saba were wealthy and advanced in knowledge, Prophet Sulaiman alayhi acknowledged her excellence on two occasions, which even she had to accept, despite being the queen of one of the richest and most powerful kingdoms of that time. The region of Saba was like a paradise on earth. Its people were obedient servants of Allah. Their kingdom extended from Yemen to Syria and even to North Africa. The rulers of Saba had built grand structures. Their lands held treasures, and the regions of Hadramaut and Yemen were famous for fragrant items. Even the wood they burned would emit pleasant smell. With their God-given intelligence, they had built large dams between two mountains, creating a vast reservoir for irrigation. Even today, pearls are found in Bahrain and Oman. Arabia was rich in gold and jewels. Yemen was a great market for the products of the eastern coastal regions. Trade between Syria, Egypt, Europe, and India passed through the routes of Saba. The Torah also mentions the wealth and civilizations of Saba. According to Arab historians, the dam built between the two mountains stretched over 2 square miles. Its remains still exist. It is said that the dam had three levels, and on either side of the dam, for a distance of 300 square miles, there were beautiful gardens filled with fragrant fruits and flowers. In Surah Saba, Allah says, "Indeed, there was a sign for the people of Saba in their homeland, two gardens on the right and left. Eat from the provisions of your Lord and be grateful to Him. What a good land and a forgiving Lord." The people of Saba enjoyed Allah's blessings for a long time and remained obedient. But slowly, corruption and evil spread among them, the same faults that caused the destruction of earlier nations. Their prosperity began to decline, and they left the path of Islam. Allah always gives His people time and sends messengers to guide them away from wrong and towards good. But when the people of Saba ignored all advice, Allah sent two types of punishments upon them that destroyed their gardens and replaced them with thorny bushes and bitter fruits. The dam, which they were proud of and believed to be indestructible, collapsed. A massive flood came and destroyed their beautiful gardens. Even the skilled engineers of Saba could not prevent this flood. It came by the command of Allah. They tried everything, but the flood swept everything away. Now the people of Saba had no option but to leave their homeland and migrate to other lands. The Quran explains, "They turned away, so we sent upon them the flood of the dam and replaced their two gardens with gardens producing bitter fruit, tamarisk, and a few sparse low trees." We rewarded them for their ungratefulness, and thus do we punish only the ungrateful. The flood came upon the people of Sabah suddenly. They never imagined that such a massive, well built dam could break. But it was Allah's punishment, which came because of their arrogance and their rejection of His commandments. The entire area from Yemen to Syria was destroyed. Allah took back all the ease and comfort He had once given them. In Surah Saba, Allah says, "We had placed between them and the towns we had blessed many settlements within sight of each other, and we had set distances between them, traveled safely by night and day. But they wronged themselves, so we scattered them into fragments. Surely in this is a lesson for every patient and grateful person." After the flood, the people of Saba scattered into different lands and became merely a story for others to learn from. The Quran refers to this disaster as Sail Arim, the flood of Arim. When this story is narrated in the Quran, it feels as though we are witnessing it with our own eyes. This flood occurred about 100 years before the birth of Prophet Isa alayhi salam. The story of the Queen of Saba and Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam happened roughly 900 years before that. Dear friends, this story shows how Allah punished the people who lived in a paradise like land. Why did this happen? Because while humans can accomplish much with their intellect, those efforts bear fruit only when intentions are pure and aligned with Allah's commands. That is when blessings are added. But when people become arrogant and claim sole credit for their achievements, Allah dislikes this. Allah never wants to punish His servants. He loves them immensely. But when people repeatedly disobey Him, they bring punishment upon themselves. So, what should we do? Whether we are in ease or difficulty, in poverty or illness, we must always thank Allah and remain close to Him. Stay firmly connected to Allah, just like all the noble prophets. That's all for today. Inshallah, we'll return tomorrow with a new story. And don't forget to pray for yourselves and for all the Muslims around the world. If you like this story, please like, subscribe, and share it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.